Hello. So I thought I would do a little bit of a rundown from what happened at regionals, partly because I'm just really bored in isolation and I feel like I need to do something to keep my eye in with the horse side of things. So I haven't done this before, so bear with me if it doesn't work very well. Also, if I cough, I promise I haven't got coronavirus. I've had a cough since like November. So I thought I would just give you a little rundown. So for those that don't know, I took Esmak Zidan, who's owned by Linda Russell, otherwise known as Bobbin. Bobbin's an 8-year-old 14-1 Arab cross Connemara, with the best and worst of both worlds. So just before this, about a month before we went down to regionals, he had a serious puncture wound to his right elbow. Ended up having a couple of days in the vets, and yeah, basically we were back in Canada about a week before this, so the preparation was about as bad as it possibly could have been. And especially as he's a seriously spooky pony, he needs to be out all the time to keep him settled, really. But anyway, I thought he did quite a reasonable test. He ended up averaging just shy of 64%. Best score was just shy of 66. He got 64.9 from another judge, and the other judge really didn't like us and just gave us just short of 61. So yeah, we weren't competitive, but I thought it would be really interesting for you all to see how it went, and hopefully I'll give you some rundown, so hopefully I won't have to pause it too much in between, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, here we go. And so the test was Novice 37A for anyone who is interested as well. So first bit, enter, halt, and proceed and track right in working trot. So I thought this wasn't too bad of an entry for him. He can be a bit wobbly and spooky. His halt wasn't great, so we lost the suppleness and a bit of contact in the transition, but he got active entrance. He got 6.5, 6 and 6 from the 3 judges. Obviously there's 3 judges at regional level. Next movement's basically a serpentine. So he's still a bit spooky and tense at this point. He is really spooky. We'd had a half an hour arena walk earlier than this and he was still spooking. But anyway, comments, pleasing rhythm, pleasing activity to his steps, but could be a little bit more supple. Yeah, again, when he gets tense, he does go like that. So we got 7, 6.5 and a 6 for this, which I thought wasn't too bad. You can see him having a bit of a spook there. That's the only outright spook he actually did, which I was really pleased with because he is really spooky and it was blowing a gale. Next movement, 10-metre circle at V. I'm terrible at 10-metre circles. We got 6, 6.5 and 5.5 for this. Said he was just on his forehand and on his right shoulder. I've since had a lesson with Bobby Haler and we know why that's happening, so that's my fault. So we're going to work a little bit more on that and hopefully circles will get a little bit better, but I'm really not very good at this at circles. I've only recently started riding long arena tests. So yeah, I'm not very good at working out where I need to be. But anyway, next movement was change the rein in medium trot. Said it was reactive, showed a good difference, but could be more uphill. Yep, he got 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. He is built very, very on his forehand, so it is difficult to lift. But again, from my last lesson, I need to ride my medium trots in sitting trot instead of rising. And yeah, he just needs to learn to sit and push a lot more, but he is built very bum high, but we'll keep working on that. Next movement was to halt for 4 seconds, proceed in working trot. I was fairly pleased with this for him. He wasn't square. He got 7, 7, 6, but for him it was actually fairly reasonable. And you can see the plant pot falling off at V. That shows how windy it was in the arena. But yeah, halting's not his forte. I don't think it ever will be, but I didn't think that was too bad. Next movement, change the rein, free walk. Good stretch, more over track and swing needed in his walk. Yeah, again, fair. He got 7, 6.55. I'm always a little bit cautious with him in his walk because he has a habit of jogging and he also has a habit of spooking in his walk, so I always ride him a little bit more cautiously than I should. Then change the rein again in medium walk. So again, little tight, could be freer in his shoulders, 6.5, 7, 6.5. Again, same thing. I don't ride him enough in his walk because he does get tense, he does get joggy. I was more interested in preventing him jogging. I really went for a safe ride here more than anything. Next move was this transition to working trot. We got the comment, could be more active, 6.5, 7, 6.5. He really spooked, he really wasn't happy at the door. Again, hey ho, such is life. Next movement, another 10-metre circle. Again, just onto his outside shoulder on his forehand, 6.5, 6, 5.5. I also didn't ride this as accurately as I should. I went a little bit wide, but they didn't seem to notice too much, which was quite nice. Again, into his medium trot. Same comments, could be more uphill, a little bit hurried, 6, 6.5, 6. Again, same thing, I need to start riding my medium trot in sitting and actually be a little bit firmer with him and ride him up into the hand a bit more. But yeah, we'll get there. Next movement was his working canter transition and into medium canter down the next long side. I was fairly pleased with the transition, lost the frame a little bit, wasn't too bad. His medium canter I ride incredibly safe because he really is difficult in his medium canter. So yeah, it said could open frame lengthen a bit more, there was tension, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, fair enough. I'm very guilty of not actually riding him into enough of a medium canter because he has a bit of a habit of trying to change legs in his medium canter. As soon as you try and collect him, I find him a lot easier in a double with that. So from elementary upwards, I actually find I ride the medium canter a bit better. Again, after my lesson with Bobby Haler, we've discovered a lot of that is my fault, as you would imagine. So hopefully we can start improving on that. Next bit, 20-metre circle. We got comments about the good activity in his canter, but again, he was leaning onto the shoulder. He got 6.5, 6.5, 6. Again, I didn't get a comment about it, but I thought I took this circle a little bit big again, and he just wasn't as engaged as I wanted, really, but I didn't think that was too bad. Next, change the rein, give and retake. He got comments about good self-carriage, but going a little bit heavy on his forehand in the give and retake. 6.5, 7, 6, which I thought was okay. Then into his counter canter. He didn't get any comments on this. He got 6.5, 7, 6.5, no comment. He normally does quite good counter canter. He was a little bit too busy looking at how to do a little bit too much hard work on that side in the counter canter compared to what I normally do. He normally quite consistently gets 7.5s and 8s for his counter canter, so I was a little bit disappointed with that. And then his next canter transition, he just ran a little bit. He's got a little bit of a habit of running into his medium rather than striking into the canter. Sometimes he likes to show off a bit and sometimes ignores the aid a bit. So he's got 6, 6, 5.5 for that in this circle. I thought it was a better shaped circle, but he was a little bit on his forehand again. Again, we go into change of frame with a give and retake. They said here I needed a clearer release. 2 of the judges said that. I mean, I thought my release was fairly clear. He is spooking a bit here at the table, which I knew when I did the arena walk he would be having a good look at it. And again, as soon as he starts spooking, he has a habit of changing leg and canter, so that's always a little bit difficult to manage. But he got 7, 6, 5.5 for that. Counter canter, yeah, because he was spooking at the table. He went a little bit tight. We lost a bit of activity. Went a bit too collected. Got 6, 6.5, 6.5, and that was for his trot transition as well. Went down the centre line. He basically nicked off with me down the centre line, which he has a bit of a habit of doing. I thought his halt wasn't too bad. Again, for him, he's not brilliant in his halt. It wasn't perfect, but I thought it could have been a lot worse. He got comments, some loss of engagement, good halt. He got 6.5, 7, 7 for that, which I was fairly pleased with. So his overall comments basically said we're a well-established combination. We've been together since January now as a pair, but he started from quite a way back from where we are now. So yeah, and he had, as much as he's 8 years old, he's been quite behind where he should be because he had an injury. He fractured a splint bone and had to have it removed when he was a bit younger, so he's missed quite a lot of time, and obviously I've only taken him on this year. But yeah, he's done really well, so I was quite pleased that they were saying we're quite well established together. Said he's got good paces, and basically all the comments we got were exactly what we know already. He needs to lighten his forehand, make sure he doesn't lean onto his left shoulder on the right rein, which we know and we've addressed in our lessons. So hopefully we can do that. really frustrating because I had a fantastic lesson and then had a couple of fantastic schooling sessions on him, and then this has hit and our yard has stopped us riding, so we're not even training at the moment, which is really, really frustrating. But yeah, because the aim for this year was to try and get him to medium unaffiliated by the end of the year, and maybe aim for summer regionals at novice and elementary, because he's competing quite consistently elementary unaffiliated, and I find him a lot easier to ride in a double. But yeah, now this has happened, I don't really know, because when we go back out it becomes really spooky again, so I don't know what that's going to mean. But yeah, I'm going to stick in some videos of the arena walk and stuff as well, just for your interest. But I'd be interested to hear what anyone thought about this, if you enjoyed it, if you thought it was completely useless, if you'd like me to do more like this. Whatever, I don't mind, I'm quite easy. I've just thought I'd try it and see what people thought. But thanks for watching, feel free to drop some comments down below, and I'll speak to you all soon, hopefully.